Good morning or good afternoon. My name's Holly and I'm here to tell you about sanitizing at the Lismore Courthouse. The shift times for the Lismore Courthouse are 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a 30-minute unpaid lunch break. Lunch breaks need to be staggered between staff, so it's ideal if one staff member goes on lunch between 11:45 and 12, and then the next staff member goes on lunch between 12:15 and 12:45, making sure that you're both back by 1 p.m, which is the time that the courthouse is adjourned for the day or for lunch, and that the courtrooms are sanitized. Lunch break is an ideal time to go and move your car if you're parked in a paid or limited parking area, so just keep that in mind. Your duties for the day are to sanitize all surfaces that a person could touch continuously throughout the day. So what you're doing is infection control cleaning, and it's basically constant rotational cleaning of all surfaces. So you clean from one end of the building to the other, and then you repeat. And you do that throughout the duration of the day, making sure that if somebody comes through there with COVID or the flu, that you're there 5 or 10 minutes later, sanitizing that surface and stopping the spread of the virus. Now, there's downstairs offices at the courthouse, and that's where the court staff work. And so those offices are not heavily used public areas. They're only for court staff. So they just need to be cleaned once in the morning and once in the afternoon. In those areas, we don't clean the desks. We just clean the common areas. So that would be the reception, the door handles, the pigeonholes. You want to spray your cloth lightly. Make sure it's just like slightly damp, and wipe the buttons on the printers and things like that. Cleaning the bathrooms that the staff use and the kitchen area, anything that a person could touch. So that's just about everything. And as I said, that's twice per day, just once in the morning and once in the afternoon. And the courtrooms adjourn for lunch around 1 p.m. So at least 3 courtrooms usually need to be done during the lunch break, which means both cleaners need to go together and do the courtrooms. So that's court 1, 2, and 3. And then if court 4 is in session, you'll be notified and you'll need to go over to another building and sanitize court 4. If court 4 is in session, there's also an entry area that will need to be sanitized throughout the day. So what are you sanitizing? Halls, stairways, hand railings, armchairs, the tops of bins, door handles, interview rooms, public bathrooms, the front entry railings, and that includes the railings at the front of the building, outside of the security, so outside, anything that a person can touch that would be considered at the courthouse. So that might also include some walls. People tend to lean against walls and touch them. So as you're walking up and down, there might be, I know that there are sort of frosted glass panels or those frosted glass squares. You might want to clean those, just a section about where people would touch. Public bathrooms, obviously those are high use areas. So you do need to clean them each time you rotate past them. At Beyond Cleaning Group, every time you clean a toilet, it includes behind and around the toilet. So I want to make sure you're cleaning the cistern, the lid, the seat, under the seat, the ceramic base, and all around the base and the floor. You probably also want to be cleaning the backs of the doors, the locks, even the sides of the stall. And of course, using your red cloth when you're in bathrooms and using your black cloths when you're in all other areas. So just make sure that after you clean the bathrooms that you put that red cloth straight in the dirty cloth bag and that it's not used again. In terms of how often to change your cloth, with your black cloths in the common areas, they will be fairly wet with the sanitizing product. So any virus that gets on them will be killed. So you don't need to change it too often. But what you need to be mindful of is that the product that we use is not a window cleaner. It's a sanitizer. So it does leave streaks on shiny surfaces, and it will leave more streaks the wetter your cloth is. So if you're cleaning something like clear COVID-19 screens or mirrors, you may want to use the spray bottle full of dish soap and water. That's what professional window cleaners use, and a nice clean dry cloth that you can polish the surface back. You can also use the sanitizer, but again, you need to have a clean, dry cloth that you can really polish it back and make sure that there's no streaks. Just always stand back from the surface and take a look at it from different angles and make sure that there are no streaks. Now, when you're cleaning bathrooms, I want to make sure that you rotate that task with your teammate. So the way that you might work it is somebody goes downstairs in the morning and does the office. The opposite person will do the office in the afternoon. So when person one is doing the office, person two starts down at the main entryway and they sanitize in a clockwise direction up through the building. So they'll come do the downstairs, come up the stairs, do everything off to the left-hand side. And including the toilets. So they're doing the toilets on their way down into the building, and then they're walking all the way through into the back of the building and coming back down the other side. So along the other side, there's just a few little interview rooms, and then there's a big waiting area at the front, and then they're back down into the main entry area. So once the second person has finished the offices, then you're both just continually rotating around, and whoever's going up that side with the toilets will clean the toilets on their way past. So just make sure, again, that you're separating that duty between each other fairly. So while your job description is COVID-19 sanitizer, it is important to also take on some of the duties that a cleaner would normally do. So when you go into a bathroom, you'll often find hand towel or paper towel on the floor. You'll find splash marks on the mirror, things like this. And you are there wearing a Beyond Cleaning Group shirt representing the company and representing yourself as a person and as a worker. And so it's really important that you, when you leave a space, it does look clean and tidy. And anything that a cleaner would have done as a minimum is also done. So picking up rubbish, making sure there's no splashes on the mirror, no spills, chairs are pushed in, things are neatly arranged, things like that. Just keep it in mind. So that's about it. That's your duties at the courthouse, sanitizing all the surfaces, including staff areas and public areas continuously throughout the day, and just going and doing those courtrooms at the 1 o'clock mark. If you have any questions, you can talk to the court staff. So the best person to go to sits inside the little glass office in the downstairs staff area. And if you're not sure about anything, go to that person and they'll help you out. The staff there are very friendly and happy to give you any direction. You can also call the Beyond Cleaning Group office, or you can call me directly. Thanks very much. Okay, bye.